But the mug, that's gonna be my travel mug. When I'm getting ready to go on a cruise, that's gonna be my mug I'm taking with me. Hopefully, I didn't check to see whether or not how insulated it was, how long it keeps ice. So I'm gonna check into that. But it holds a lot. Angel says, "Wow, that must was Virgin Voyages." I thought this was Carnival. Angel, it could have been an old clip. I think it was like members only, and I'm flicking through it, and I saw the picture. I'm like, that looks like Angel, and I clicked on it, and it was you dancing with. It could have been a Fun Squad person. You were dancing with somebody, but I don't think it was Virgin. So let's get started with the. I think I got everything out the way. Mardi Gras, my people. I forgot why I enjoyed Carnival, and Mardi Gras brought that feeling back. The boarding process was somewhat simple. Port Canaveral is a tough place to leave out of because it's so congested. One of the world's busiest ports, and the signage is a little confusing. It's like, do you want to park? Do you want to drop people off? It's kind of confusing, and they're all headed to like the same location. So it gets you have people trying to leave. You have people coming in. You have people trying to park, and it's like everybody is congested right into one spot. Once you can find your lane, it's not bad. And so, but that would be my only complaint as far as the boarding process, because once they drop me off, my Uber dropped me off, easy peasy. Yeah, Marlene, I don't like Port Canaveral. It's not one of my favorites. It reminded me a lot of Long Beach on the West Coast. It reminded me a lot of that, where everybody's trying to get into one location. Long Beach, though, they had like a do around where they could drop you off over at the hotel, the Queen Mary, and you just walk over a little bit. But Port Canaveral, you were kind of just stuck. Port of Tampa, ooh, Marlene, you know all the ports. You cruise a lot, huh? Port Tampa is an easy cruise, and it's a nice place to cruise out of. I wish you guys didn't have that bridge so bigger cruise ships could come in there. I really do. When I boarded the Mardi Gras, I did notice that normally when you board, like every time I've boarded like a Excel class ship, they have people lined up and the DJ on the stand or on in the center stage playing music. I walked on this time, nobody was there. I mean, I walked in, it was like, hello, anybody here? Which way's my muster station? It was empty. And I think if you watched my premiere video, it showed you there was like nobody there. Nobody greeted me. Like, I'm used to being greeted. I was a little disappointed. It's not a bad thing, but I was a little disappointed. You didn't get that. Yeah, welcome aboard. Carnival, we're number one. You didn't get that this time. Charleston, I've never been out of Charleston, was the most confusing to me. I've never been out of Charleston. I think I've heard that before from other people. Scott says Charleston, he loved it. But first day of cruising, I didn't want VIP. I am Diamond. I was one of the first ones on. I was one of the first ones on the ship, and maybe that's what happened. Maybe they weren't set up yet. But normally, I usually get that. Not me, but Carnival usually has people that greet you, and most cruise lines do. But this time it wasn't that way. Went to my muster drill. They actually made me sit through the muster drill this time. Thank you so much, Carnival. I appreciate it. And walked around a little bit, and I believe I went live that day, and the Wi-Fi was good. One of my complaints about the Mardi Gras this time was the Wi-Fi wasn't very good. It kept cutting in and out on me. So by the second or third day, I stopped using the Wi-Fi. Matter of fact, it might have been the very first day, because I might have got off ship's Wi-Fi and went on my local cellular network. The Wi-Fi on the ship, and I don't know, because most of the Excel class ships, I've never had a problem with the Wi-Fi. TJ, don't start, TJ. Bill's sounding a little bit bougie right now. I just, they greet you. Welcome aboard. They had no problem when I went up to the Lido deck. Do I want to buy a drink? You want to buy a drink? Oh, no, not buy a drink. You want a drink? You want a drink? They had no problem with that. Woosah. They had no problem with that. You want to get a dinner package? They had no problem with that. When I come on board, just say, hey, welcome. Right, Mr. Bill? Oops. Right, Mr. Bill? But no, the Wi-Fi, the very first day, it seemed okay, but it could have went outside going out the first day, because I can remember going on my cellular network, and I wasn't at the next day. I was at sea, so I know I didn't use it then, but I don't know what was going on with the Wi-Fi. I don't know if a lot of people, and I got to admit, the last time I was on Mardi Gras, it wasn't as crowded as it was now. It was a few years ago. People just getting back into cruising. It wasn't as crowded as it was this time. Even though this really didn't feel that crowded, you hit a couple of spots where it got congested down there by Emeralds. If you ever been on an Excel class ship, that hallway that was at like the 6th floor, it seemed congested. But even like the casino, the only thing that seemed crowded in the casino was like the tables. You could always get a slot machine, maybe not the one that you wanted, but you could always get a slot machine if you're not that picky. But the Wi-Fi, this particular cruise, I had an offer to upgrade. I had an interior room. I had an offer to upgrade, and it was probably, I want to say, like $50 to a Havana room, interior room. And I did. And normally I'm like, what's the big deal about, that area? I look back there. Yeah, it has a pool. It has a bar and chairs. I see what you pay for, because it never got crowded. There were never any chair hogs. You could always get a seat. Very small. It had a very small pool area, but there was really nobody in it. I think the most I saw in it was like 2 or 3 people. I do understand what Will G, last time he was talking about, he didn't say, I want to say he said it was trash, but he didn't say it was trash. He said it sucked. I think those are his, Will G, I think those are his words. And I see what he meant, because I didn't see a hot tub. And it was just a small area. You could walk around to the front of the ship, which was nice. It was like a U. You could walk around. It was 8th floor. You could walk around, and in the front of the ship, you had a nice view. But the public area, I mean, they had chairs in front of where, like, they call them balconies. They're not balconies to me, but they had like chairs there. I don't know if anybody could just use them. So I don't know. It was weird. The public area was nice. It was just small, but they needed like a hot tub. That sound bougie. When I set out Charleston, an SUV was parked on the railroad tracks in the middle of the parking lot and was hit by a train. My goodness. Hopefully nobody was hurt. Let me see. Dark Fame, welcome in. Welcome in. Appreciate you being in here. Hey, Bill, don't let TJ clown you. It's okay to have standards. Thank you. Just welcome me aboard. You didn't have to have a drink waiting for me. It would have been nice, but you didn't have to have a drink waiting for me. Jay the Motivator. Jay, welcome in. Appreciate you being in here, my friend. Long time no see. Good to have you in here. Jay the Motivator. He was one of the first guys when I first started doing YouTube. He was one of the first guys I kind of connected with. And he just like in the name, the motivator, he motivates you to keep going, because there are many times I thought about quitting. And Jay, got to keep going. So he's a good guy to connect with. What is the advantage of inside Havana? The only advantage, Destination Fun, is that you have access to the public area of the Havana area, if that makes sense. So the pool area, the bar area, you need a wristband. Where's my wristband? You need a wristband to get out there, and it's not crowded at all. The most I saw were people standing around the bar. You know, you had about 4 or 5 people standing around a bar having a drink, but the pool area wasn't crowded. The chairs, and you could walk around the ship so you can get, I mean, where the sun is, so you make sure you're in the sun. So you had plenty of chairs. If all you wanted to do was sun, it was nice. By the way, oops. See what came? Finally, that's my meet and I. Well, hold on, let me find it. Where is it at? Scott and I won best collaboration on a series on YouTube. Meet and I, thank you so much. I've been waiting for it. I bought a T-shirt, and I bought this. Well, and this was given to me, the trophy. And I got to do a thank you video. Now, everybody else did it 2 weeks ago, but my trophy got lost in the mail. It was stuck in Atlanta for 2.5 weeks. I just got it like the first day I got back from my cruise. So I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna do a thank you video to Meet and I for putting on such a great award show. Elisa Adventures in Jay the Motivator. Elisa Adventures in Cruising. I'm doing good, just busy with life, living life. I have to tap in when I can. Jay, we appreciate it. The Bud Files, welcome in. Warmstrong, it's 80 degrees in Grand Turk. That's a lot better than 24 here in northern Louisiana. Yeah, tried 19 here with snow, Bama. But next week, it's warming up to 40 degrees. I can't wait. 40 degrees. I can't wait. Jay Motivator. You're the man, Bill. Jay, thank you. I appreciate it, Jay. It's a cruise life. Welcome in. Welcome in. Appreciate you guys being in here. VIP. Yes. It's like a VIP area. You don't have the butler. There's no dining room or anything like that. It's just like a kind of a private area that has like a pool. I thought they all had hot tubs, but this I didn't find it, and I walked all the way around it. Could I have missed it? Maybe. So it's just a private area where you can get away from people, and it's not not crowded. That you didn't have the chair hogs taking all the chairs, so I didn't have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get a chair. Jay, you should go on another cruise. Bill, our show, yes, Scott. Scott, I've been waiting for this, so we can do like a thank you, or on our show, do a thank you to Meet and I for the awards. I never got my award, and I just got my T-shirt, so I ordered a T-shirt. But Scott, we got to do something. We really do. Whoop whoop! Congratulations, Bill. We got a lot to talk about on our next Cruise Talk Live. Next Cruise Talk Live should be next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you tune in next week. Because, Scott, it's been a couple of weeks. We had a lot to talk about. Najuma Brown, welcome in. Appreciate you coming in here. And my members, thank you so much for being members. I see Najuma, I see you there. Elisa, thank you. Everybody, I appreciate you. Scott, Keisha, all the members, I appreciate you all being in here. If I didn't mention you, I hit 2,000 again. I hit 2,000 one time, and they took, 200 subscribers away from me. So I dropped under. I'm over. I'm going to try to do it before March 29th. I'm going on another cruise. I'm going to try to do something for everybody. I'm going to try to do a giveaway for reaching 2,000, but then I'm going to do a special giveaway for my members only. Because I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and you guys showing up here. Nancy B, thank you for coming in on the Facebook side. Thanks, Nancy, for being in here. I appreciate it. I'm so glad you got back over 2,000, my friend. You know what? Yes, I'm happy to be over. But I just love the support. Like when I go live or a video comes out, I just love the support that you guys give me. So that's the true count. As far as for me, as far as like subscribers, yeah, everybody can hit the subscribe button. Who actually supports, and that's why I love you guys so much, because you guys really do support. I appreciate it. and I'm sure Scott feels the same way, especially about his show. And I was trying to talk him into doing a live match game Friday. I don't know, maybe they are, maybe they're not, but it would be nice if they did since they're all together, do a match game live. I know with the Wi-Fi situation, it might not work, but that would have been. I think that would have been fun. I think a lot of you guys would have loved to have seen that. So anyway, back to the Mardi Gras. Wi-Fi, one of my downsides. One of the main things I loved about Carnival cruising or Carnival cruise ship, the Excel class. John P. Adventures, welcome in, my friend. Are the food options on the ship? I kind of like my food cooked to order. The buffet. I will do the buffet, but when you see people on the ship and what they do, sometimes you don't want to eat after them. But with Carnival's options, they have it where they're like making the food kind of sort of fresh in front of you. Not exactly, but Guy's Burger, the pizza place, Shaq's Big Chicken, Blue Iguana. You have Street Eats. You have these places that you can go eat. And Will G, welcome in, Will G. I was just talking about you in the Havana section, and I did see what you were talking about. Not trash. Oh, it sucked. You said it sucked. The Havana section on the Excel class ship sucked. I do see what you're talking about. Go Muddy Hogs, welcome in on the Instagram side. Appreciate you stopping by. Doing some little cruise talk. I do see what you're talking about, Will G. I was just telling everybody I do see. I like the area. If they had a hot tub, I probably would have been over there more. They didn't. I didn't see it. I didn't see a hot tub, so I didn't hang out there. But the swimming pool is. Well, a lot of times I could have had the pool to myself, and if the hot tub was if it was anything like that, man, I would have been down there with my camera getting content in the hot tub. It would have been fabulous. Food options. I started rambling on about other stuff. I really love the food options on the Excel class ship, and I Royal. Now, my favorite ship to be on was Utopia of the Seas. The food options, I thought the buffet was cold. I thought the specialty restaurants, a lot of them wanted you to pay, and on the Excel class ships, you got Cucina, the Italian restaurant, the Capitano. You got one time for free. You got Shebang, one time for free. You got Emerald, not Emeralds, Guy Fieri's Smokehouse for free. I think I went to the main dining room one time. Matter of fact, I never got a Guy's Burger because they have so many food options on the ship, and I ate it up. I literally think that's the best thing that they have going for them are the food options on this ship. And Will G says, "Yep, Will G. I walked around, I didn't see one, and I'm like, I see what Will G." And this is my first time back there, Will G. So this is my first time. I looked out before and I saw it. And I'm like, oh, which I thought was a hot tub was actually the pool. The pool was that small, but it was not crowded. I loved it back there. And if I wanted to get away, I would just go back there and grab a chair, grab a seat. Nobody around me. I loved it. Dark Theme, I wholeheartedly agree, Bill. Buffet should have warning signs posted. I'm going to get into that in a couple of seconds. This is one of my down things about Carnival. I'm about to get into that Dark Theme. Emily, welcome in, Emily. Appreciate you being in here. And don't forget, if you want to drop your link, there's like 26 of you in here. Make sure you hit the like button. I don't know what the likes are looking like, but make sure you hit the like button. I appreciate it. If you can share it out, share it out. I appreciate it. We're trying to get to 3,000, baby. We're on the road to, well, okay. We're on the road to 2,100, baby. I'm having a great time. If you haven't noticed, I do run my mouth. I like talking sometimes. Not all the time, but today is one of those days that I haven't been live in a while. And you guys are going to be for a treat because my next cruise is going to be a 29-day cruise out of Brisbane, Australia, going through Japan, stopping in Alaska, and heading home. But that's not the best part. The best part is Be Weezy Cool is going to go with me, and we have a lot to talk about because we're going on the Carnival Luminosa, and I told him that I will not edit what he says. Well, I'm going to edit a little bit. He can't go too crazy about the Luminosa and Carnival in general. So we are going to have some great lives. We're going to have some great lives coming up on the Luminosa. Please, Wi-Fi be good. So, anywho, the food options on Carnival Excel class ships, I never wanted for food. The only thing I will say that disappointed me, and I guess it was the late night buffet. The late night buffet started at like at 11:30 and it went on to 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning. The food was not very good. I mean, literally, it was not very good. And it's late night. I understand it, a bar and a casino, and you've been drinking all day, and you just want to put something in your stomach. It was for you. It had hot dogs and little sandwiches they changed up the sandwiches. One was of like a Philly cheesesteak, and one was ham and cheese. So they changed the sandwiches up. The pizza was like the big square pizza they used to have like in school, where you just big square and you just cut it up. Anyway, French fries they would come out hot and fresh. That was probably like the best part. John P. Amazing warm strong adventure. Woohoo! Will G says getting on the Luminosa at the end of May. The Luminosa, and I mean, I love cruising, but Will G, we're gonna follow us, and you're gonna get my opinion and my son's opinion. The biggest problem is when I go on that cruise, I believe there's like 10 sea days in a row to start the cruise off. So we leave Brisbane, Australia. We leave Brisbane, Australia. It's 10 sea days in a row before we wind up in Japan. Nine or 10. I think it's 10. And if you've ever been on the Luminosa, Luminosa is the ship that Carnival said this was the first ship they started talking about the Italian flair. When they brought in the Venezia and the Firenze. Now those had Italian flair. The Luminosa wasn't like that. Even though they hyped it up at the time, it came from Costa. They bought it, older ship. It's kind of a Spirit class, Vista class combination, more like a Spirit class. They don't have a sports bar. They don't have a guy. They didn't do any of the upgrades, Carnival upgrades. They don't have the Heroes bar. They don't have a sports bar. They don't have a Guy's Burger. They have Off the Grill, which to me is comparable to Guy's Burger, but my son says it's no comparison. So they really dropped the ball on this one. So we're gonna be talking about that coming up. Everybody saying hi. So that was one of my down things, or my positive things about Carnival was the food options. However, the people on the ship, this is one of the downsides of the ship. I don't know what it is about people that they refuse to cough into their elbow, cough into their shirt or something like that. They either don't cover their mouth, cough into their hands, and then they want to grab everything and touch everything and push every button on the elevator, and they want to do that. And I can't blame Carnival for that. But what I can blame Carnival for is if you ever been on a Royal Caribbean ship, if you ever been on MSC ship, they have somebody as you enter the buffet area to spray sanitizer in your hand. They have Carnival has the washy stations, the hand wash stations. They don't have anybody there to guide anybody to it. And if you don't guide people to it, they won't do it. And I go through, and I always laugh because I always go to the Facebook groups. I join them, and at the end, they're always talking about how they all got sick, and I had COVID, I got the flu, and I know why. So Carnival, step your game up, place somebody up there. You're not going to get everybody to wash their hands. I got it, but if you can get more people to wash their hands, maybe we can cut down on some of these cruise crud that we get after the cruise. Luckily, I didn't have it this time. I felt pretty good the entire time. But there were many times it's like I got up and just walked away because I mean people were literally hacking up a lung and just sitting there. And it's like, nope, you're not gonna get me this time. Bill, they don't do it at home, meaning that they are likely they don't. And they don't. And I truly believe that, Keisha. And it's not the kids. Kids, I'm looking at the parents like, why don't you teach a kid how to do it? You know, how to cough, cover the mouth, turn your head, you know? But nope. And that Carnival, my problem with Carnival is that they don't try to do anything to help with the issue. You can't make them do it. I got it. But you can have somebody there to shame them into doing it, kind of like what Royal does. Because every time I go to Royal, I know I could have just washed my hands. When I go into the Royal, I wash my hands again, just because of the washy person. Emily says, Billy, it hardly takes. It's not hard to do. It takes 1 second. Pull up your shirt. It's easy. It's easy. And if you know you're sick, if you know your nose is running and you're sneezing, and don't go to a community area. Don't go to the buffet area. Sit down among people. You know you're not feeling well. Grab a plate. Go sit off by yourself. Better yet, go back to your cabin till you feel better. Dark thing. Yes, my sister Keisha. I just called it what it is. Some people are just to me disgusting. But anyway, Emily, I'm always pulling up my shirt over here. Now, say I will, like you might catch me like on a live. I might cough into my hand. Like if cough came out, as soon as I get off here, I'm washing my hand. My son doesn't use my little station here, but I would clean it up. Because if he was gonna follow me, first of all, he wouldn't follow me just for that reason. We don't share our drinks. I mean, you got this person over here sniffing, and you're gonna drink a drink after them. Okay, whatever they have, you have now, is the way I look at it. So anywho, people, you gotta washy. You gotta take care of yourself, just so you don't infect everybody. And it doesn't have to be COVID. I don't want the flu. I don't want a cold. I don't want any whatever diseases you might have, whatever germs you might have. I don't want. Just washy. It's alarming, Scott. It really is. It really is. It's alarming. It's alarming, and the fact that we just came out of a pandemic, I'm dumbfounded by it, in a way. So, anywho, I'm getting off of that. The food was one of the things, but Carnival, I love the way the Excel class ships are laid out. At Mardi Gras was the first time I experienced it, and when I went back on it, it was the same way. They had a ton of comedy shows. They had the piano player. They had shows center stage. They had shows in the theater. They had shows everywhere, and I thought it was great because it gave you options. It gave you options, and you didn't feel that you didn't feel like you were being crowded out. And I loved it. And you didn't have to make reservations. The theater would fill up now. Now, if you wanted like a good seat in the middle, the video table, whatever, content creators, you know what I'm talking about. You better get there early. You better get there early. TJ says, I drank a pack of emergency. Yeah, I have that too. I have that too. I have the emergency. And what did Scott say? 5 times worse on the dream 2 weeks ago. Oh, yeah. Don't get me going. And my fear, my problem is, see, a lot of people, they get sick. They don't feel it until they get off the cruise ship. I'm going on a 29-day cruise, people. If I get sick week 1, I got a long time to be on that cruise ship. So I don't want to be sick. I don't want it. So you see me come out here, I might, right before my live, you may see me bring my mask off and take my gloves off, just because I don't want to get sick on that cruise. Anywho, I digress. Carnival does a really good job with, and they took the idea from Royal where they had the zones. And the one thing about the Mardi Gras that they corrected on like the celebration and Jubilee, which to me, they're the Carnival's top ships, is some of the little venues that they have on the ship where you have like lone singers, lone guitar players. They isolated the people so you don't hear two or three different groups. And Mardi Gras, they have not done that yet. They haven't done it yet. They didn't do that. And that was one of the problems, that you could be literally at a bar listening to two or three different music groups going on at the same time. Right down there by the Fortune Teller Bar is one of the places I'm talking about. The Brass Magnolia, they have a bar there, and then there's an act on the other side that if you sit there, you can hear all of them. And they need to correct that on the Mardi Gras, which, I mean, that would probably mean putting up partitions, but that is one of the problems on the ship. And for me, there's not a lot of problems. There's not a lot of problems, other than more about the customers. They're the biggest problem, because they're the ones that are being, chair hogs, hogging up all the good spots. The people on the ship, everybody was friendly. Everybody was friendly, and knock on wood, it stays that way. And if you follow me, you heard me talking about MSC, where I would go someplace. I went to a solo meetup, and this is on MSC. I was the only one that English was their first language. So you literally had like 5 different languages being spoken, with 2 or 3 people that actually spoke more than one language. And that's who I talked to, when I was there. So Carnival, it was like, you go wherever you went, everybody spoke English, and that was a good thing. And you could sit there and eavesdrop on people's conversation and know what they're saying. So I really appreciate it. And Carnival, I know we're running out of time a little bit as far as talking about the Mardi Gras itself, but those are the things that I missed about Mardi Gras, and they need to up their, and I don't know how hard it is as far as the entertainment. If you cruise a lot, you see the same thing. It's been, I don't know, 2 or 3 years since I've been on the Mardi Gras, and they're still playing celestial strings. You got to mix it up. Maybe do what Royal does, where one ship does a show and another ship does another show, but then switch them out so you're not doing the same show all the time. And the Mardi Gras parade, which is one of my favorite parades, the first time I saw it, they changed it. The first time, it was like the Mardi Gras, it was like a ragtime band playing all the time, and then they had a parade, and then they showed up, the King and Queen showed up, and it was all kind of like one event. This time, they did the parade, they announced the King and Queen, and then they went into Voodoo Moon, which was kind of like a New Orleans type act. But it wasn't like the ragtime band playing and people dancing to ragtime music. And I didn't like it as much as the first time I was on the ship. Nelly, welcome in. Appreciate you being in here. Let's see what Nelly says. That's the bad thing with Carnival. Every ship has almost the same show. Yes. The rock revolution. Yes. And I know it's hard to change acts, because you have to practice new shows and things like that. But you just can't let them go on as long. Scott says, I found some interesting facts from John Hill about older Carnival ships entertainment that Bill and I will share next week. Yeah, Scott, I didn't want to talk too much about it, but yeah, Scott, he's on a cruise ship, the FFS, for fun's sake, cruise with John Hill. So check us out next week. Check out his lives coming up now. Dark Theme says, I really appreciate the entertainment that Royal and MSC. I think Royal Entertainment is top notch. I don't cruise on Royal that much, but their shows are top notch. I I love their shows. I love their shows. And I know different cruise ships. I went on Allure of the Seas, and they had Mamma Mia, the whole play, which was kind of incredible to me. It's like, you want me to sit here for 2 hours, 2.5 hours and watch a play? I did, and I really enjoyed it. But they had also something else on another ship, and then on another ship, and something else. And that I love that idea, instead of like um, the same show everywhere. I like the guy who said, don't put him on camera on yeah. No, I understand the guy. I kind of sort of watched that, but if you're trying to hide out, you really don't want to be on camera. Now, will anybody ever see him? Highly unlikely, but you never know. You never know. I was talking about a story earlier today. I'm flicking through the YouTube channel, and I look up. I'm like, that looks like Angel, and I click on the video, and sure enough, it was Angel. It wasn't her video. Now, imagine if you were skipping work to get on a cruise. Not that anybody would ever do that, but you might. What if you're there with your girlfriend and wife is at? Well, not that you would ever do that, but sometimes you may not want to be on camera, and I understand it, you know. And I try to be respectful of that. I try to film, but I find filming I'm trying to get like the back of people's heads instead of me being in front of them, like in the group. Hey, what up, though? Say hi. You're on YouTube. I don't do that. Maybe I should start, but there's a couple of things. Come on, this next cruise, you got to follow my adventure. My next adventure with me and B Weezy Cool, who's my son, by the way. We're gonna try some different stuff on this one, and I'm gonna, believe it or not, I'm gonna do more talking, kind of like what I'm doing now. I'm gonna try to do more talking, and when I go through the port areas, I'm gonna try to show you more stuff and talk about more stuff of what I'm seeing, instead of like the generic, like walking through the marketplace. Here's the marketplace, and I'm gonna try to do more things to bring in more people to the channel. Harmony on the Seas has Greece, right? They have different shows. Um, Elisa, she's been on MSC, and yeah, you like seeing different stuff. Rosemary, welcome in. Welcome in. Hey, on the Facebook side, appreciate you being in here. Destination Fun says, someone on TikTok live the other day on a cruise, security got a complaint and made her turn off her camera, or made her turn off her live. I can sort of understand that, but that's why when I go live, I'm away. I try to be away. This last time I went live, I was off to the side, but you could still see people walking by. But when people looked at my live, and when they walked by, all they saw was me and some back of somebody's head back here. But I try, unless you stuck your head down here, you couldn't see it. And I do try to do that away from it. The only time I might not do that is the sell-away party, and it's tough. It's tough not to get people on the sell-away party. Will G says NCL has great shows also. The only time I ever went on NCL was I went on NCL, and it was a charter cruise, and it had it was a NASCAR charter cruise, and they had the Beach Boys playing. Man, I had a great time, because I mean, Beach Boys came up kind of my era. Wish they all could be gone. I had a great time. Anyway, I love rock and roll. I love all music, and the people get surprised by that. One person that you'll hear in my playlist is Johnny Cash. So I mean, it's like one time you're going to hear Kendrick Lamar, and then the next time you're going to hear Johnny Cash. You're going to be like, "What the? Who is this? What guy is this? Listen to that music." We're in social media era. Conduct yourself properly, and you shouldn't have anything to worry about. Yeah, but even if you don't want to be on camera, I mean, I understand it. You are in a public area now. Now, if you're in a public area, I mean, that's on you. I mean, just like you don't want to be on camera, well, I want to use my camera. It's a public area. If you don't want to be it, go to your room. Go someplace private. Go. Carnival. Start having an area where there's no cameras allowed or something. No, please don't let me start that stuff. because it's bad enough now where, oh, people, question. I'm sorry. I'm so glad I thought about it. I was under the impression that you could not take non-surge protected uh, devices on the ship anymore. Can you? I thought they were outlawed, where you had to use like USB. Do I have it here? Oh. Where you had, I do have one. I have one where you had to use USB things like this to charge everything. Have they changed that, or was that never implemented? Because I'm going through like Carnival and I'm like, I don't see this because I don't want to take this my non-surge protected power strip if I can't use it or if you want to get it. So do I need to go out and buy all new ones with just like USB-C? By the way, oh, just on Royal for now. Okay, so Carnival is still good. Okay, I'm good. That was the whole thing because my son and I we're going on in and we got like, I got 10,000 things. He got 10,000 things. Yeah, it's not. You can't have surge protected. It's non-surge protected stuff, power strips. So I know they were talking about Carnival doing it too, but they never implemented it. And I'm like, I can't find it in here because my son asked me. I'm like, nah, we can't take that. And he's like, I couldn't find it anywhere, and I couldn't find it anywhere either. So yeah, we're good. We're good. Rosemary, you're not supposed to bring. Yep. Rose says no, but you can. I was wondering about that, how they were going to find it. Mona, sifting some soil and more. Mona, I'm trying to get to my daughter. My daughter she's into growing plants, growing her own vegetables and things like that. And I'm like, you got to go check out Mona and F.R. Humphrey. And you got to go check them out. Bill, what ship, when you're on a ship, do people notice that you are talking on camera live? Yes. Sometimes, yes. If I sit down and I'm doing live, yes. And then I usually have like a mic pinned on me and they see it. And so some people understand what it is. Some people don't. Like if I still have my mic on and I go sit down to play like at a table game in a casino, they'll ask me like, what is that? And all I got to explain to them, oh, it's this, that, and the other. So, but yeah, no, I'm going to make sure I take my power strip. Every now and then, you'll have people come up, hey, are you on YouTube? And I've seen your videos, whether they have or not, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun. But I do try to respect everybody's privacy and kids' privacies. But it's hard, like you're just kind of like getting B-roll. You're kind of just getting footage of the pool. B-roll for people not content creators. B-roll is just like just film of really nothing, but you're like just scanning over like the pool area and you're just going by and you're going to use that later on for something else. Like I might start talking, like if I was talking about the Havana pool and I'm up here talking, well, I could play that footage with me talking over it. That's called B-roll. Don't ask me why B-roll is, I don't know. So I try not to get kids, but if you're in a pool area, sometimes you don't get kids, but I'm not stopping on the kids. I'm just and I'm not stopping on anybody, but just keep moving. Even like, a lot of, which I don't know whatever happened to like cover-ups, but like women, a lot of women now walk around like, and okay, not gonna get sexist. And men, men walk around in their Speedos and the women walk around with their thongs on. I guess they could go both. Anyway, I don't come after me about being sexist. I'm still working on this. So I try not to film that because I don't want to be like that guy over there. And, the lady in front of me has a thong on and I got my camera out. So if I see that, I turn away. Even though they're out there in public, that's on them. That's not on me, But if the Cellaway party, you've seen the people at the Cellaway party and they start that dancing and twerking and all that. And people are getting all real up and close and personal with their cameras. I don't do that. I probably will get a lot more likes, but I don't do that. Dark Fame says it should behoove the cruise line to provide plenty of outlets for their passengers. Yes. Yes, and yes, I mean, a work. Yeah, Keisha. It is a work in progress. I'm 60 some odd years old, Keisha, and the things I've grown up with is there. It's not quite acceptable nowadays. So it's a work in progress, and I know like every ship that goes in a dry dock, they have these lamps now where you can have like the USBs um, in the lamps. Get those. Give people even like for some of the older ships, give them options to be able to charge their stuff. You know the CPAP machines. People need plugs. So I mean, but give them options so they don't try to have to sneak things on. Hold on. Let me go up here real quick. Okay. Yeah, give people options, and you would stop people trying to sneak things on. Bill could be my uncle. My aunt is 63. Yeah, I'm Uncle Bill. Just don't call me Mr. Bill. Uncle Bill. No. uh, um. Okay. Real quick. Who's come? Who's? I don't keep track of schedules. Is there anybody coming on at 7 o'clock on YouTube that we can go see? If you have not hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button. Uh, if you haven't seen my premiere that came on right before this, which is my embarkation day on Mardi Gras, go check it out. Maggie, welcome in. Appreciate you coming in here. So hit the like button, share it out, go watch the premiere. I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. And as I said, I'm going to try to more timely manner. I'm going to probably do what I did this week, and that'll be next Thursday. I will be going live at 6, but 15 to 20 minutes before then, depends on how long the video is. I'll premiere a video before that. LF McKinley, welcome in on the Instagram side. Appreciate you coming in, my friend. So there's Scott dropping emojis. I'm gonna have to put emoji. I'm gonna have to put a Nightbot back to work to get rid of the emojis. But no, I appreciate you guys coming in here, stopping in there. I told you guys before that I'm going to the dark side, people. I'm going to the dark side. I'm leaving Android. I'm going to Apple and Mac. The Apple Watch, Apple phone, the MacBook is coming. The Mac, it is coming. My son has a Mac, and I use Filmora to edit my videos. And my laptop, I bought it, let's say 2 years ago, and I forgot the RAM and all that. I mean, I could look it up, but I thought it was like, oh, I don't have to worry about it. He has a MacBook, the Pro now, with the M4 chip, whatever the new Pro is. It's like the smaller version of the 14-inch screen, but smaller version. And I had him download Filmora, and the way that's as fast as it renders, and it is nothing special. My RAM is as much as his RAM. Even now we're getting into computer talk, but his computer does it 50 times faster and smoother. And I mean, it's like it's night and day. And this computer, Ricky Ocean, welcome in on the Instagram side. Appreciate you being in here, Ricky. Let me holler at you. That's Ricky's catch line, by the way. Let me holler at you. Anyway, welcome in, Ricky. His laptop, and I don't do a lot of things with my laptop. I'm strictly kind of like social media. Is so much faster, so much smoother. The way it's integrated with the watch, the phone. I mean, I was impressed, and I've been a Samsung guy most of my life. There was a period where I went to Apple. That was right after the phone started blowing up on the Samsung Note started blowing up, and then I went to Apple for a little bit, and I liked it. I never went into like the watch or the computer. But the Apple was like, hey, it's just a phone, And my family, they were Apple at the time. I switched over, and then they switched over to Samsung or whatever, or just vice versa. I switched over to Samsung. I switched back from Apple. They all switched to Apple. Now we're back on Apple. And now whatever blue, we're all blue. Our text messages are all blue. My son, oh my goodness, have you ever tried to download a video from an Android or Samsung or a Windows computer to a Mac? It's almost impossible to do. No, it's not impossible. It takes forever. Yesterday, I'm on my phone and I'm airdropping all kind of videos to my son. Bloop, 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 bloop. Just as smooth as you would want it to be. I'm going Apple. I'm going Mac. MacBook is going to be my next computer. Maggie says Samsung all the way. You got it. I'm telling you. Find somebody with an Apple, what do they call it? Environment? What do they call that? Ecosystem. Find somebody with Find somebody with an ecosystem for Apple, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The Android, it's lacking. And that's coming from somebody who's been mostly Samsung there on their entire life. Ricky Ocean's talking about Samsung. I know. Keisha, say it a little bit louder for the people in back. AirDrop is amazing. AirDrop is amazing. And I'm going to give you an example. And my computer, it's 2 years old. It had me thinking, I need to go up here. I gotta get another laptop because it was taking so long, to render things. Well, don't do this or don't do that. But when you do a lot of editing and you want to be able to have a smooth, when you want to have a smooth video, so you can see where to make your cuts, where to add music, and things like that. With this computer, which is 2 years old, it's 2 years old. It became almost impossible. I would have to, every time I went through Filmora, I would have to render the video, which took 45 minutes to render a 15-minute video. Edna's World, welcome in, Edna. Appreciate it. Hold on, let me catch up with the chat real quick. MacBook, Apple Watch, all the way. I'm going all the way. I've gone down that rabbit hole. I don't think I'm coming back. Scratch and Pete, welcome in. All my systems work great. Laptop, desktop, and tablet. Everything is fast when I edit on my desktop. What on your desktop? I don't have a desktop. All I have is my laptop. And when I'm out, it takes forever for a lot of this stuff, and it's totally different. And my son, he's right there, and that's what I did the test from. It was fast. It was smooth. You could make precise cuts, and even he didn't realize it until he started doing it. And it's like, really? That's all it is? He might start a YouTube channel. Anywho, I know I'm not going to convince people that are Android people and Windows people, but trust me, it all works the same. This is when I want to paste something from my laptop from my phone to my laptop. It's so easy. It's so easy when you have that same ecosystem. And I have Windows and Samsung. It's still not easy. It's not the worst, but it's still not easy. Everyday Life with Ron and Rose, welcome in. Switched over to my iPad. I may not ever get an iPad, but yes. Now, is it worth the price? I don't know. And for most of us, we don't use it a lot. I believe that was TJ talking about his desktop. I haven't had a desktop in 20 years. But I don't do anything but social media and surf the internet and stuff like that with my laptop. So Keisha says the rabbit hole, you ask questions that will have you have him gone forever. Yes, Keisha, I'm gone forever. I mean, we're cruising. What's cruising? We're not. This isn't a cruising channel anymore. This is a MacBook. This is an Apple commercial, infomercial. Bill, sounds like you just discovered Nirvana. It really. I don't have my laptop yet, but the little experience I've had with my son's laptop, with the watch, and the watch was cheap. I mean, because when I switched over phones, here's a deal on a watch. So you get the phone for half price and add it to your monthly bill. So my bill went up a couple of dollars, but now I got the phone and laptop, or phone and watch. What I consider dirt cheap. Now the MacBook is gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Maggie says I need a sugar daddy to help me switch. I got too much dollars involved. No, but see the phones. If you switched over, like I'm at T-Mobile, I didn't want to leave T-Mobile. But if I had went to Samsung, they were about to give me a phone. They were about to give me an Apple, and then half price for a watch. The MacBook, not so much. But I expect my laptop, from what I gather from talking to different people, and I've done a little bit of research. I'm going over a little bit, but nobody has told me about anybody else going live now. So sorry. Anywho, that if I buy this laptop, it may be 5, 6, 7, 8 years before I need another laptop. Unlike this one I'm telling you, it's 2 years old. It got a touch screen. It's got, when I first bought it, I loved it. 2 years later, yeah. Thanks, Windows. I appreciate it. Let me see how much RAM I can add to it. So I'll let you know. I will let you people know as far as was it worth the switch. But right now with my phone and my watch, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. They make it easy for people who aren't really tech savvy. And I think that's the biggest pushing point. Like Android, you could probably start a nuclear war with an Android phone. I mean, you can download everything and all kind of stuff, and I mean, you can do so much more. But in doing that, you can also get more viruses. When you can just download anything. As a matter of fact, I messed up when I switched over. TikTok wasn't available in the Apple Store, so I couldn't get TikTok on my new phone. There was a way around it, but I didn't want to go that route, which was like create a new account, get a VPN to make it look like I'm in Canada, download it from Canada, then come back over. It was like I don't want to do it. But now it's back in the Apple Store. I'm good again. Bill, do you take your laptop on a cruise with you? I do. I almost always take it. Do I need it? Probably not. But there's a few things that I do on it. And I'm gonna try to start doing more as far as staying on time. Meaning that I'm gonna start editing my videos while I'm on the ship. So my embarkation video, when I get off, it'll be almost ready to go, if not ready to go. I come home because I want to do a voiceover, and actually I could probably do the voiceover on the ship now because I have like some portable microphones that I could probably do my voiceover on the ship if I can find a quiet place. Emily says I went to Verizon last year and got all three: watch, iPad, and a phone on them. And Emily, are you happy with it? I'm not tech savvy, but my son tells me to do Samsung. Samsung, if you want to do, just like if you want to, upgrade the pictures and the background, and you can't customize. Apple is trying to catch up, but they're years behind as far as what Samsung or Android is. Dark Thing says, I've been with Apple since they were exclusive with AT&T. Mommy Millionaire Jennifer is another one. She had a MacBook, and she swore by it. The MacBook connects seamlessly with the iPhone and watch. Best part about Apple. Yes, I see. Jennifer, I see. I see now. Scrolls Nest, Randy, welcome in. Randy, thank you for the gift. I was waiting to see you. Thank you. Randy sent me, and I don't have them handy right here. They're on my table over here. But Randy, thank you for the gift. The little Scrolls Nest merchandise. I appreciate it, Randy. Thank you so much. And thank you for being in here. Dark theme. Are you Bill? I didn't realize, Keisha. I'm just realizing it. And again, I'm kind of a simple guy. I may sound like I know what I'm talking about. I really don't. And I want simple. And Apple, they make everything so simple. Just signing up, it's almost intuitive. Almost. Just walked by the TV and they said National Pet Day is today. Oh, happy Pet Day to everybody. Everybody's pet. Give everybody who has a pet, make sure you give them an extra treat today because it's National Pet Day. Everybody saying hi. Maggie, but I'm not a vlogger, just a supporter. You never know. I wasn't a vlogger either till 2.5 years ago, and then I started vlogging. I just started vlogging, and vlogging wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do because I didn't want to show my face and I didn't want people to hear my voice. So I basically just walked around with a camera. My son, we were playing an old video because he was trying to show me. Whether you know it or not, every week I go through 2 or 3 times a week about I quit YouTube. I don't want to do YouTube anymore. And it's continuous. It's almost a continuous cycle. And which is probably not a good thing. But we went through some old videos and he's trying to show me how much I've grown in my videos. Because I'm very hard on videos. When I watch videos, I'm kind of hard on it. And that's why a lot of people, even like when I'm watching people's videos, I'm there, oh, this, that, and the other. And I don't mean anything by it, but I want people to do that with me. But if I'm that hard on other people, I'm that hard on myself. And when I look at my videos, it's like, I should have did this, I should have did that. And even like the video I just put out, when I was in the dining room, I had to change the music out because after I had posted it, they said there was no copyrights. After I put everything up online that I have a premiere, then they hit me with a copyright. So instead of taking it back down and uploading it again with that removed, I just used the editor on YouTube in YouTube Studio and put another song in. It wasn't a song that I would have picked, but I put another song in. But anyway, long story. You know, my son, we went back to some of my old videos. I wouldn't talk. I didn't like the music that I had picked out. And it was bad. And I'm like, well, maybe I have grown. Maybe, so he kept me going. I'm going. In other words, I'm coming back next week, people. I'm not quitting this week. Again, yep, Roseness, I really appreciate it. Quite so. I gave them my phone I had at the time, and that was the deal at the time. They pay for the billing up to a certain point. Yep, you can definitely catch some deals if you're willing to switch providers. And look at you now, a vlogger. I know. My son just said today, who would have thought my dad would be a vlogger? He literally just said that today. Keisha said, that's nice. Oh, we all have Apple here. And I mean, it's just they just flow. They just flow. Arrgh. So anyway, I'm way off subject, but the subject is probably over with anyway by now. Who's here wants to still talk about the innovation of the ships on Mardi Gras? Because the Mardi Gras Carnival, I'm telling you, people, if you like Carnival, but you want a nicer ship, go on an Excel class ship, and you'll get a taste of what it's like on some of the other ships. But you have the Carnival vibe. Royal is trying to do that. Royal is trying to get the cruise director more involved. Dr. E, who was on Carnival, is with MSC now. So MSC is trying to up their game. It's going to be interesting to see who they make their cruise director for World America. I think Dr. E is going to be the cruise director on that ship. Speculation, way out, in the future, 3 or 4 or 5 months from now. But I think Dr. E will be the cruise director on that ship. Chet from Sea Lake Journey, welcome in, Chet, on the no, that's YouTube side. Okay, yeah, no, the C threw me off, Chet. Who said that 7 weeks till the World America? 7 weeks, and I'm pretty soon it just passed the sea trials, and now they're gonna have to start talking about whoever the cruise director is. We enjoyed the Mardi Gras. I do. I like their show. I like their show better. The parade for the Mardi Gras, even though they changed it, but Celebration and Jubilee, they tweaked the ship just a little bit to make it a little bit nicer. Bill, are you doing a groupcation? Probably, I don't know. 2026, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet. I'm trying to get through 2025. I'm doing MA Traveling Adventure Greece. I'm doing World America in September. And Bruce Ocean to Ocean and See Me Traveling. It's a kind of like a non-group cruise. It's not really a group cruise, but we're all getting together on the Elation, I believe, for a booze cruise. And people, you want a good time. And my football team didn't make it to the Super Bowl, and I was really despondent on this cruise ship because it was a Super Bowl cruise. They really did a nice job with the Super Bowl. They had it playing at center stage. They had it playing on the Lido deck at the Seaside Theater. They had it playing on all the TVs in the casino. So even though there were a lot of people watching the game, and it seemed like everybody on the ship was watching it, they had it everywhere. They really did a good job. I don't know how it was on the other ships. They really did a good job on that particular thing. Hold on, let me check over here real quick. Yeah, they really did a good job. You need to do groupcation. I will take a look. I will take a look. Groupcation. I will take a look. When is it? As long as I don't have to get what do you say? As long as I don't have to join the running back crew again. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to run it back. I joined already. I shouldn't have to be initiated in the running back. I don't want to be initiated again. Oh, February 9th. Do I have anything planned for February 9th? Is that group case? Wasn't that their Super Bowl cruise? Aren't they doing a Super Bowl cruise at that time? Is that the same thing, groupcation? Because I saw Edna. She was talking or V or whoever, Allen Family Adventure, whoever it was, they were talking about run it back on a Super Bowl cruise. And I thought it was right about that time. Out of Philadelphia. Oh. See, yes. Keisha, I think Keisha, you're thinking Super Bowl cruise. And Maggie, I think you're doing groupcation out of Philadelphia. That's what I remember. Yes, she said she was doing something out of Philadelphia. I'm on August of next year. I'm going to take a look at it. Hey, Bill, Michelle and Greg on board the Carnival Magic. Really? You had to explain who you were. But that's for everybody else. Greg and Michelle, the Match Game co-host. You know them. Everybody in here knows them. On board Carnival Magic, having lobster tail and roast beef, watching your nothing can get any, or watching your live, nothing can get any better. You guys, thank you so much for the. Oh no, it's Mr. Bill. Thank you. I saw that on Facebook. I died laughing. I died. I was grateful because you guys are on vacation and you thought about me. And that brought a tear to my eye. Well, not really brought a tear to my eye, but I did. It touched me that you guys would even think, were even thinking about me and Mr. Bill. I appreciate that. Enjoy. I don't eat seafood, but enjoy the lobster tail. And the fact that we're here with a Carnival Cruise Addict and Controversial Cruising, it's absolutely fun. I do. I was telling Scott. Scott was in here earlier, and I normally don't get FOMO, fear of missing out. I normally don't get that, but I did this time. I was like, that would have been nice to be there. Yes. See, and it's still here. Okay, Groupcation is different, right? No one's gonna make you do anything that they don't want to. Yes, Edna, I hear you now. I'm gonna hold you to that. I am gonna look into Groupcation. The Super Bowl cruise, maybe that. I kind of want to do a longer cruise for the Super Bowl cruise instead of like a 3-day cruise, but I don't know because the 3-day cruise is also it's not going to be on Carnival. I think it was another cruise ship, and I just caught it in passing, so I don't remember exactly which cruise ship, but I am going to the Groupcation. I will definitely look into that. Check. I got a next day in the running back with Bill. Yes. Welcome to the club. We don't need to do that anymore. It's been a great time. It looks like you guys are having a great time. I can't wait for the videos to start coming out from your cruise. That should be a nice one. And that's kind of the thing that I talk about as far as on the Magic, which is not one of the newer ships, but because you're there with a great group of people, it makes it a great cruise. It makes it to me. It makes it a great cruise. It's a wink for me. It's as a wink. No, Edna. No, Edna. They were really good to me. So I can't. I tease them all the time, and people tease them all the time because you get somebody falling down drunk. It's like Edna, stop. V, stop. He's had enough. No mas. Anyway, no, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I could see still going back on there. But it's more about like NCL. It'd be nice to get on an NCL ship, but it would be more like there with a group of people, and that's what I want Scott and I to do. Like if we do it's not. I'm not gonna say if when we do our group cruise, I don't care about the ship. I prefer an older ship so that if the cost wouldn't be that much, and everybody can come because for me it's all about meeting everybody in here. One of these days. Love cruising with Edna on the Margaritaville at sea. That's why when people talk to me about Margaritaville at sea and they talk about how they don't like it, all I can tell them is I had the greatest time of my life on Margaritaville at sea. I mean, I thought it was the greatest ship ever. Yes, it didn't have a roller skating rink and an ice rink, and it didn't have a roller coaster. I've had the greatest time ever, but that's because Edna and V, they threw a great group cruise. And Bill, being my roommate, he's great to cruise with. You're just talking, Scott. I'm a loner. Scott says they just subbed to Ron and Ross. Meeting new people is awesome. It is. That's people think I'm unfriendly. I'm not, and I really do appreciate meeting people. But you have to give me a chance to warm up to you. So if I just saw you, Maggie, if I just met you, Maggie, I might not say much, but I'm going to sit there, and if I'm going to sit there and you'll be talking to everybody else, and I won't leave, so I'm just listening, taking in everybody, taking in the conversation, and then I'll join in after I have a drink or two. I'll join in the conversation, and that's the way that it usually works. Every now and then, I'll do the extroverted thing and start talking and being loud and all that. I would fit in, but normally it's not. People always ask, what's wrong with Bill? Oh, Bill, where did Bill go? But I love meeting people. I love it. Cruise Bolero. One day, we haven't really sat down and talked about it. We talked about doing a group cruise. If you're talking about me and Scott, we talked about doing a group cruise, but we haven't gotten serious like into like when or where, and everybody else has a group cruise, and I mean, so we're going to talk about it. And if we do a group cruise, I want it to be done right. Edna's going to have me calling her up. Edna, what should we do about this? Edna, where do you get your bags from? Edna, so Edna will probably be tired of hearing me talk, because she throws a great group cruise. For some of you who know Naughty Cruiser, he throws a great group cruise. So there's quite a few people here that I can lean on and get ideas as far as real actual group cruises, not non group cruise, but yeah, no. There's so many people I'm going to reach out and talk to and find out where they got their merchandise from, and how to run a slot pool, how to run a cabin crawl, how to run. I've been to them and I've done it, but it's different going to something and running something and planning something, because you want everybody to feel included. You want everybody, as far as being inclusive, but not force them to be, but if they want to be, and they do a really great job. Some of these group cruises that I've been on, and these are some of them that were that stuck out in my mind, and I can't wait to do it again. Bill, June, and Brady, Richie are all like that, and I will always cruise with them. Nice. Controversial, very possible cruise, but Bill and I want to be very the best. Well, I don't know. I mean, being the very best, Scott. We want to just give everybody a good time. Nope, not like the other group cruise. So we're going to put out a lot of energy. That's Scott. Well, see now Scott. Scott is the energy guy. So I almost guarantee you, it's gonna be crazy with Scott there. And I'm good at delegating. So Scott he can start it, and then we'll have somebody else run the slot pool, and somebody run the cabin tour, and somebody else run. And I'm gonna delegate. And that's kind of what I do. Maggie, I'd be right up for a cruise out of Arizona. Arizona cruise. I don't know about an Arizona cruise. And I don't, if I do a cruise from the West Coast, I want it to be out of Long Beach in the summertime, because hey, that West Coast in the wintertime is for the birds, because it's cold out there at night. My opinion. I know Florida can get cold every now and then. You're not sure, but California, my goodness, it's cold on the water. Dark thing, yes, Bill. Talk to Edna. She'll take full charge of everything. More power to her. That's what I mean by the very best. Loosey Goosey and Lex. Here you go, Dark. Here you go at Dark Thing. Maggie, I don't mind Long Beach in the summertime. Where would you sail to? Oh, well, that's something. See, me personally, I prefer like the longer cruises, the more exotic cruises, but you eliminate a lot of people when you do that. So I think, if we cruise, more than likely we'll cruise out of like Florida, maybe. Could be Galveston. That's kind of in between Scott and I, somewhere like that. But you try to make it easier for the people. But that means you're going to go to the Eastern or Western Caribbean, the Mexican Riviera if you go on the West Coast. So you kind of limited as far as where. And when you start talking, 8, 9, 10-day cruises, where you start cutting out a lot of people. So if you can do like a 5-day cruise, 6-day cruise, I think you can get the best of both worlds. You keep the cost down a little bit, and you get more people able to come on. You can't do like, Icon. You can't do Utopia, because I think you're going to price a lot of people out. I think. But Scott, as I said, Scott and I will discuss that at a later date. But definitely, I guarantee you, I got 3 or 4 people in mind who I would talk about as far as setting up a group cruise and how far in advance. I mean, the activities. Every group cruise I've been on, I've kept a list of like the different activities and things like that. And I got to get out my shyness and get out there, um, and get people involved. I mean, on Edna's, on Margaritaville at Sea, uh, Ship Life. Jay, we were up there doing the bar crawl, and it was so lively, it got him involved. I mean, that wasn't me, because I probably wouldn't have said nothing. And Edna is like getting everybody, come on, everybody. We started off with 15 people and ended up with 30. So you gotta you gotta have the right people running the right thing. Maggie says Galveston is in the middle of USA. That way, East Coast can meet the West Coast. Yes, and I don't like Galveston because it's tough for me to get there because I fly Delta. It's just tough. But if it's convenient for everybody else, I'll gladly do Galveston. If it brings in people from the West Coast and from the East Coast. East Coast people are spoiled. They're used to East Coast, Florida, Charleston, and New York, and that's what they're used to. Um, so we might have to make a compromise here somewhere. But you do, when you go on the East Coast, you get a lot more options as far as different ports that you can go to. So, people, with that being said, it's over an hour and a half, and I didn't mean to be on here this long. Thank you guys for coming in here. Let me look at something real quick. Okay, we are going to, if you guys don't mind, the Journey with the Gingers. They're live right now. I don't see anybody else that I really know live right now. So I am going to copy and paste. Hopefully this works where you can just use the hyperlink. Hopefully this worked. I'm not sure if this works or not. That's Journey with the Gingers. So if we could go over there and just say hi to them real quick, I'd appreciate it. I'm sure they would appreciate it. It's Cruise Life says 6 days is ideal. Somewhere around 5 or 6 days, I think, is the perfect ideal or perfect group cruise. I really think it's in between. Dark Thing, good talk, Bill. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Dark Thing, for coming in here. I appreciate it. Maggie says, love your lives, Bill. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. When I get going, I can start talking. Find me on a group cruise, and I start drinking. Catch me at night. We can do this. We can do that. Come on, let's go. He's dropping my cruise shipmate, which is Warmstrong 313. If you're into following me on shipmate. Nelly says, have a great night, all. Appreciate it. And don't forget, hopefully that link, because I'm off my YouTube side, it worked. Thank you, Keisha. Appreciate that. So go over there and just say hi. Give them a strong raid. I appreciate it. Warm, strong raid. And I'd appreciate it. I'm going to get off of here. Thanks, everybody, for coming in here. And make sure that you always stay strong and embrace the journey. And we are going to get out of here. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.